That's when I watch the Netflix.
That's when I'll do the Netflix. Get some Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
Oh.
I'm still working on Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad, yeah. It's funny because my brother has the final season. They were talking about it we had a dinner up at their place.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, Breaking Bad. I'm like, no. He's like, that's fucking ridiculous. He's like, come to my house and I will give you the last episodes. He's like, how are you not caught up?
What are you on?
The last that Netflix has.
Oh, I just finished Netflix's. They ended episode 8.
That's right, halfway through season 5. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I acquired
Did you?
episodes 9 through 16.
That's so funny. I was going to have you pick them up 9 through 16 at my brother's because he has them.
Oh, yeah, I have them.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I'm on 11, I think, 10 or 11.
Oh, you're farther than me. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to get really good.
Oh, yeah. That's what everyone keeps saying. Like an 80s rock group. That's right. You're a kiss. That's my penis.
Oh,
You're a kiss. That's my penis.
There we go.
All right.
We're recording.
Hey, Jeff. Welcome.
Hello.
I'm hugging Jeff
my
right now
God.
because he's back from Mexico.
Radio.
Yeah.
I didn't record anything in Mexico.
Oh, but you're so tan.
I didn't carry my phone around with me. And
I wouldn't. It's dangerous there.
I was at a resort, so it's really not.
It's dangerous there.
The only problems I had were they're constantly trying to sell you things at this place where you go, and
Like at the beach?
Yeah, that too. But like when you get there to check in, it literally takes like an hour and a half to check in because you need to sit down with someone and go through. Here's what we have. Like it's a timeshare.
Oh.
So the whole idea is that you agree. It's all agreements and points and this and that. So when you go, you agree to best practices, bring new people, and then we'll sit down with them and show them the features of the complex and all this stuff. And so it's like, and we had kids, right?
Yeah.
So it's the most 6 kids in total.
Oh my God.
So to sit there for an hour and a half in the lobby with 6 kids after traveling 2 planes from Vancouver to LA, from LA to Mexico, and it's just so frustrating. And then during the whole thing, they keep calling you to come down for an additional. We want to sit down with you. Oh, you get a free. What was it? They offer some free thing, but they called every morning. I was like, yeah.
Have you seen the South Park episode on the timeshare when they all go to Aspen? No. Yeah, it's very funny. Every second, like, they go up the chairlift, and the chairlift actually goes right into the room where the timeshare meeting is held.
That's exactly what it was,
It's like every moment, and they're like, well, we got you this free dinner. And they're like, well, you just expected to take the dinner and not sit through the meeting? Like, okay, well, I guess. And they're like, well, okay, we'll sit through the meeting a little bit. And anyway.
But they get you and you're stuck there, and they're like, "Oh, I'll be right back. And then you're stuck there for you don't know where they went. You disappeared, and they're just like you're held prisoner there.
It's such a mind fuck.
It is.
Yeah, that's how they get.
Unfortunate.
So,
but
how much did you buy?
Oh well, actually, the old in-laws got talked into an upgrade from. They have a condo there, and they got talked up to a villa. Oh. So now if they can use it 5 times over the next. I can't remember, but they have to go at least every 18 months for the next decade, I think. And I mean, it's a nice place. I'm not going to lie. But they're definitely paying extra for it. They're using a lot of points that they already had. But yeah, they still got.
You pay for it. You pay for it one way or the other. Yeah. Anyway, I won't get.
You're either paying for it or you're trading in points they gave you, and you're going, oh, I'll just use these points. But really, that was money that you actually had invested that they call points. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, as long as you got to reap some of the rewards, other than.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's good. Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
Jeff, I've got this great opportunity I'd like you to look at here. It's
what is it?
It's 2 weeks every 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Up in Denham,
2 weeks
Nebraska.
every 3.5 years.
That's right.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not a big commitment
for
at all.
For a $5,000 initial fee, that gets you 2.5 points, and for 3.5 points,
you can 3 visits. That's 1,500
divided by
that's about 1,750 for every few years. Yeah, I can do that. Sure.
Okay.
Sure. That sounds great. Thank you.
That's great. You're welcome.
Where do I sign?
Right here. You didn't have a pen.
Yeah, well, you didn't have a contract.
That's fair enough. Okay. Well, let's get to some stories.
Okay.
Hey, it's October 9th today. It's the week of October 8th, 7th.
Well, let's just say the 9th, because we always do the day of.
Okay, it's yeah. And it was my sister's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yes. Lisa.
Lisa?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
it.
Well done.
It's my brother's birthday.
She's an actual journalist, whereas we are not journalists.
We are pretend to be journalists. She's
right.
my only grasp into the real world of
Of
journalism.
actual news.
Of actual news,
Yeah,
yeah.
well done. How old is she? Good for her.
Yes,
Good for
exactly.
her. Well
You
done.
guessed it. First time.
Done. Excellent. We were talking a little bit about Breaking Bad earlier.
Oh, spoiler alert.
No spoilers, because Brad and I are both behind.
Mm-hmm.
But I just noted here that there was today's the 9th, this was on the 7th of October in Vancouver. A mobile meth lab crashed into a concrete wall on Monday mid-afternoon around 3:15 or so, and the driver and the passenger fled, and the police are still looking for them.
I thought they determined that it wasn't a mobile meth lab. I thought they thought it was, but it was carrying gasoline.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
Well,
I heard
I
this.
read that it was a meth lab.
Oh, when did when was the article?
This was on the 7th, though.
Yeah, see, I heard, I think it was either yesterday morning or this morning, it was just filled with a lot of fuel. Either way, why are you driving
why would they just...
a van full of fuel around? I don't know. And why would you run away?
Well, why would they immediately go, oh, it's a meth lab? Like, it's a pretty high jump.
Yeah.
Oh, a van caught fire? It must be a meth lab.
Yeah.
Get that on the website immediately.
Maybe the cops were just so enthralled with Breaking Bad that they were just, on that track,
Somebody probably went, huh, but it's a mobile meth lab.
Yeah.
And everybody went, ah! Some reporter was like,
Yeah.
stop the presses.
What a scoop.
Yeah.
But anyway, it could be back to a meth lab, not to poo-poo yourself.
Oh, no, not at all. No, I
anyway.
mean, we want to report the correct stuff here.
That's right, yeah.
I thought that was exciting.
They still haven't caught him, though.
That's true.
Good. Yeah, one bald man with glasses and another short young man with short hair and a bad attitude.
He's got a good attitude.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen.
Should watch more closely.
I guess so. Jeff, last week and subsequently this week, because this is when we're reporting it, was National Breastfeeding Week.
You don't have to tell me.
It's a week meant to bring attention to breastfeeding, an act I don't really think needs attention brought to it because.
What is breastfeeding? I've never heard of that.
Oh, Jeff. Well, as somebody who has kids, I'm surprised, but
how do you feed a breast? This is so weird.
It's difficult. What a child does is it actually clamps onto the woman's nipple.
Lucky.
And regurgitates liquid into her breast.
Where does it get that liquid from?
Oh, well, babies are born with a stockpile of different liquid. Yes.
Is that why they're so fat?
That's true. Yes. That's why it's called baby fat.
Oh.
Yeah. And so
they put it back into
they slowly put it back into the mother. That's why a mother tends to gain 10 to 30 pounds directly after childbirth.
Yeah. That's why.
Yeah. Baby weight is what they call it.
Oh,
yeah.
I get it. That all makes sense.
There you go. Yeah. Huh. So we're drawing attention to this because it's clearly an issue that plights many mothers.
There's some listeners in the southern states of the U.S. right now going, huh, I had no idea.
well, no one. Hey, Lori, you're doing it wrong.
It's going to be considered fact pretty quick here.
But, Jeff, maybe you could give me some insight. You have kids.
Yeah.
When did your wife stop breastfeeding them?
Oh, pretty early on. It's actually funny you bring this up.
I thought it was.
I've got a reference from the trip to Mexico last week. I think probably a year was probably the limit we had on both of them, I think. Yeah. And then we went to, not formula, but like bottled pumping.
Yeah.
Just the active breastfeeding stopped.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. And then we...
And when did you give it up?
Well...
3.
which are we talking? My mom or are we talking about... about a year, I think, and then we kind of gradually went into soft foods after that, after continuing with bottles. But there in Mexico last week, there was a woman breastfeeding her kid who was 2.
Yeah, see, that's what I was talking to somebody, and he's like, yeah, between the age, infant to 2 years old, and 2 seemed old.
2 does seem old, because my youngest is turning 2 next week.
Like if they're talking, I think maybe isn't that
if they can ask? Some people go if they can ask for it, they're too old for it.
They're too old for it. Yeah, that seems like a good rule.
Because she was in the pool, and this other mother was breastfeeding, and she's like, "Oh, how old is she?" And I go, "She's 2," and she goes, "Oh, so is mine."
And you're like, nice boob.
Interesting. So
interesting. Well, Jeff, we haven't got enough mail yet, so I thought that this story might spawn a little mail.
Sure.
Spawn a little male. Anyway, hey. So I thought that I could piss some women off just by saying that I think
always a goal here, Canews.
That breastfeeding is great. It's absolutely. But there tends to be a stigma, and women are like, oh, people feel weird about it. I don't think people feel weird about it, but I can't look a woman in the breast when she's breastfeeding. So I
should be able to if they whip it out.
Yeah, but I feel like over compelled to like stare at her eyes, and my eyes cannot, or at her eyes, because I don't want to divert down to her breast.
It's like cleavage. Like if you wear a low cut shirt, it's to draw attention, but get upset when the attention is drawn to it. Like I always thought, if guys walked around with like a hole in the middle of their crotch pants. Yeah. Right? Like, hey, excuse me.
Yeah. Hey,
stop looking at my crotch.
Yeah. Oh,
like, my whole dick's not on display.
Yeah.
Just the top.
Excuse me, I'm just feeding my child. If you don't mind.
I'm feeding this hooker.
Yeah.
I'm doing a good deed.
Yeah.
And I got to give her some money, too. Just to get her on her way. We both feel a little bit better.
That's right,
yeah. Anyway, yep, that should get some mail.
That's right. Breastfeeding is like hiring a prostitute. That's an analogy.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I've got an exciting follow-up.
Ooh.
It's not really a story as much as a notation.
Okay.
A little while ago, I reported that Hal Johnson and Joanne McLeod were on The Amazing Race.
You did.
They got kicked off, or they failed, I should say, on that a few weeks in.
They failed.
They have been named Grand Marshals for Ontario's Oktoberfest Parade, October 14th.
Oh.
And as fitting with their message of health, the celebration kicks off with keg tappings at lunch.
I was going to say, what? Doesn't make any sense.
So, good for them.
Oh, okay. Well, they're staying busy.
I guess, I don't know how well, like, you call them, hey, we're running this beer fest. Do you want to get involved? And they're like, yes.
It seems like they're making a push to kind of be in the public light again, because they had been off the map for literally 10 years. Like,
well, it's like when somebody gets famous for something minor. Well, not minor. I it's a bad way to start it. But
Body Break was not minor.
I'm sorry. That's why I'm taking it back. Wow. But when you get back in that limelight, you try to you go on the talk shows. You go. I mean, because people pay you thousands of dollars to make an appearance, right? So I think they're kind of milking that for now.
Fair enough.
Which is fine. I don't know what they're doing. Like, are they doing exercise classes? I don't know.
Yeah, Hal Johnson's got a new line of mustache combs.
Mustache combs? Yeah, he shaved it, remember?
But he grew it back, I thought.
No, it's gone.
It's gone totally? Oh, that's sad for me.
So the mustache combs he has are just like
that's why he's getting rid of them. Yeah, just sticks. Just toothpicks.
You can use them to stir your coffee.
A Vancouver businessman who makes his living shopping at Trader Joe's. This is here in Kitsilano, actually. He recently won a settlement out of Washington. So he owns a business called Pirate Joe's, and what he does is he goes down to Trader Joe's, which is a outlet store, not an outlet store, but a
shopping.
Yeah, and they sell all the kind of cool food goodies. And he buys a bunch of stuff and he brings it here because they don't have any in Canada. There's no Trader Joe's in Canada. So anyway, Trader Joe's said he was hurting their brand by buying all of this stuff and bringing it back. But it's interesting. So even though his business is run out of Canada, the Washington courts were able to reach out and grab him and bring him back and under this potential with this litigation.
Why?
It's an act called the Lenham Act, which allows U.S. courts to broaden their jurisdiction specifically with, patents and stuff. So,
but Trader Joe's doesn't have anything patented, does it?
Well, it's a brand, which I guess is a patent.
The store?
Yeah, the store. So I guess it was
something to do. They don't have Trader Joe's toilet paper.
Well, it was something to do with him calling himself Pirate Joe. Oh. So Pirate Joe, because Joe's in the name.
Pirating Joe's products.
Yeah, I don't know.
How did they get across the border with all that stuff?
Well, I guess it's
making money off.
I guess it's totally legal, and because he does it all the time. He buys $4,000 to $5,000 worth of stuff every trip he makes.
How does he get it across the border?
It must be legit. I mean, they must see him coming by, so he pays duty on it, I guess.
But how does he make profit off? He's buying it at the store.
He's charging it. Jeff, I don't know the answers
to these
questions.
Here?
I don't know.
How do I do it?
But
Pirate Jeff's.
Well, you might have an opportunity to, because he said he part of the fallout of this whole litigation is that they have banned him from shopping in the store. So he still does it, but he can't get like $4,000 to $5,000. So he has to have a whole team now of people go down.
Has he got Hal Johnson's mustache on?
No. Oh, Mr. Johnson, right this way. Yes. We've got some new...
lift with your knees.
Yes. Wait a second. Hal Johnson doesn't lift with his knees?
No. Lift with your back?
Yeah, that's better.
That's the shamed Hal Johnson I know.
That's right. So anyway, he won, and they threw it out, which means that
he won.
He won, yeah. What's his name?
Joe
Michael Hallett. He's the local guy of Pirate Joe's. So yeah, he won. Anyway, way to go. Yep.
Well done.
That's that.
Way to go, Michael. Speaking of
Trader Joe's,
small-time people winning lawsuits.
Yes.
Nestle Waters Canada has had to back down from a fight with environmental groups in Hillsborough, Ontario. The fight was based on them renewing their agreement to remove water from a well that they own there, but due to a drought, legislation dictates that they cannot remove because Nestle has been going around globally.
Yeah.
What's that movie on Netflix called? Tapped.
Watered.
Tapped.
Okay.
Where they just go in and take water from rivers and streams, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's practically unregulated, but because of the drought conditions, they are being forced to, for the first time ever, since all this water stuff started, to not be removing water for purposes of reselling.
Oh, nice. So,
a little victory.
Our water might go up from $1.50 a bottle to $2 a bottle now.
Or people might go, let's all fight Nestle, and then might actually start winning.
So how do we do that? We just don't buy Nestle products, which is Coca-Cola.
Yeah, and you know what? Don't buy bottled water anyway.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous.
Get a Brita.
Thank you. Or just drink it out of the tap, because we have the best water.
Yeah, I drank water out of the tap in Mexico.
You're a ballsy.
For 9 days.
Oh, Jeff, don't throw up there. Don't throw up there. No. I knew that.
And I'm fine.
Well, Jeff, speaking of Mexico, Mexico's a lot like Brazil.
Oh, segue.
Yes, in the sense that Mexico and Brazil, they both speak Spanish. And that's where the similarities end. Yes, they do, yes. Okay. Apparently, Canada has been spying on the Brazilian mineral.
Don't look at me. Look at your paper if you don't know where you're going.
I thought you would have the answers. Improv, the answer's always in your partner. Where's the answer, Jeff?
Let me have a look at your paper here.
Anyway, so the Big Five spies, or the Five Eyes as they're called, which is an intelligence alliance between the United States, Britain, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. They've all been busted for keeping an eye on Brazil's oil reserves. And so in 2007, Brazil discovered the largest oil patch to date on its territory, 8 to 10 billion barrels of oil.
Wow.
Yeah.
How'd the oil get into all those barrels?
It's tough to say. So right now they're doing studies to find out if they can just rip the barrels out of the ground.
As far as I can tell, dinosaurs had...
That's right. The dinosaurs are very smart. It's we're going to be. We might as well not inconvenience people.
Why would we just put ourselves in barrels?
That's easier. A lot easier. Maybe that's how they buried themselves. It's a coffin. It was a coffin of the day.
So what's the problem here? They're being sued, or they're just being slapped on the wrist, or what?
So here's the gist of it. So Brazil put out an open, because they found all this oil, and they're like, well, we can't mine all this on our own. It's too big. So we want other companies to come in, help us mine it and sell it, because they'll have, the capital to do that and the infrastructure and all that in place already.
So why can't these companies...
Well, they put an open auction out is what they do. So they say, okay, and each company who wants to potentially bid on this project had to put up $1 million. So it's but 8 to 10.
That's not a lot of money when it comes to.
Well, that's exactly it, right? So suspicions arose when only 11 companies submitted, and none of the five that I just mentioned. So no companies from United States, Britain, Australia, New Zealand, or Canada.
That's weird.
Exactly. So they were like, why didn't none of these countries enter into our auction? Only China and a handful of other countries did.
We don't think oil is going to be the future. We just want to invest $1 million.
So the story goes on. So apparently there's something to do with Canada already having connections in Brazil with other oil companies, and they figure that through some lobbying that they can get the contracts without going through this whole process. So but they've been monitoring, what's going on there. So anyway, I didn't have a chance to go through into the backstories, but I'm curious to see what happens the next week. Or so, because this will come out.
Well, Brazil.
Yeah.
You're playing with the big boys now.
That's right. Yeah. They've got nothing to hide.
Who's your phone provider?
Rogers. Yeah.
So maybe you can tell them more than what I got here.
Frick.
So Rogers experience, was this today?
Yes.
All day. Rogers experienced another service blackout today. Oh, it's today right here in my notes. A large portion of their almost 9.5 million customers across Canada were without phone or text services for pretty much the entire day. Is it back?
Well, I tried sending a text. 2 to you failed, and then so it's intermittent.
Data wasn't effective. It was voice and...
But it's a text.
Oh
messages.
yeah, voice and text. Yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah.
So I tried a couple minutes ago, and it was.
Well, I got yours when I was on my way over. Okay. So, but I went to 4 different places, and none of them said that it was back on. But if you texted me, then it should be working.
Okay.
During the blackout, Rogers customers, who apparently aren't aware children are being murdered around the world and that they're poorly paid Asian workers who made their cell phone just killed themselves, tweeted their outrage for 12 hours straight. They were furious. Rogers calmed everyone down halfway through the day, however. At 3:15, they tweeted, "Good news! We'll be making the BlackBerry Z30 available to our consumers." Yeah.
They seriously are going to do that?
Yeah, they originally said they were not going to carry it at all. Then people were like, "What?" And then they're like, "Just kidding, we're going to carry it after all." But like to announce that today, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when no one's had phone service,
that's
all day,
really sticking it to BlackBerry more than anything. People are already pissed off. They're like, "Hey, this other company that's floundering." They just tack it onto that. Never mind.
But
I don't know.
Well, BlackBerry's going to be bought out by somebody soon anyway.
It's just like when it's like, hey, your mom just died, and then you just bring in this other really piece of bad news. It's like, oh yeah, McDonald's is really bad for you too.
Oh, that's
like
horrible.
You're just going to hate on McDonald's even more.
That's how my mom died.
That's right. See, now you get it.
Full circle. See? I see.
If only all my analogies.
So I just noted that as I wrote this specific time, I have no idea if it's back online or not.
Yeah, it's intermittent.
Oh, I'm so sorry. How about you, Mike?
Well,
me too. So your service is just consistently shitty, but still always up.
And in the other room.
In the other room?
That's where his phone is.
Wow. Okay.
Take that.
Mine's on the table. Right there.
Me too.
Still working.
A few weeks ago, I covered a story about Mike Duffy.
You got a follow-up too.
Another follow-up. 2 weeks in a row with follow-ups. And Duffy was the guy who received a check from the Conservative government from Nigel Wright, who was Prime Minister Harper's chief aide at the time, for $90,000 to cover some of his expenses that he had to pay back and couldn't for whatever reason.
Is this the guy who did nothing for the money, or was this somebody else I'm thinking of?
Well, this is that's that story. Yeah. So now it's coming out. So why he needed the $90,000. So anyway, in the weeks before it came out that he had to repay this and that Nigel Wright gave him the money, he had a diary of all of his doings and everything that happened as a senator, blah blah. So he sent a copy of this to Nigel Wright a month before these allegations came out. And then when the allegations came out, they were like, oh, well, this is again, we don't know what's going to, I'll kind of get to it. But yeah, so essentially, the gist of it is that
do that.
The gist of it is that they are alluding to the fact that a lot of this money was spent on essentially to tender votes. So government contracts are in quotations, in rabbit ears, that were never, there was no contract there. So people were paid monies to not actually do anything. And so this, of course, is for, either services rendered or for lobbyists or for votes. So, apparently this diary, of which Duffy also had a copy of, was never given to the police up until just recently. So now they've got this Duffy diary of the last 4 years.
Is that what they're calling it?
The Duffy diary, yeah. And,
New on Netflix.
They're going to go through it and figure out why. So apparently the Conservative government did have quite a bit of prior knowledge.
How do they prove that this diary was written? I mean, I could write today, January 1st, 2005, on a piece of paper and go, look, I wrote this in 2005. I just forgot I had it.
Well, no, I don't think he wanted to give it up because it's damning him. It's it's out of this diary that these allegations of these false bills are coming.
So it had a little heart lock all this time. And
yeah,
they just finally got it open.
Yeah,
this damn little key.
It's a redacted copy too, apparently. So I don't know what kind of use that is to the RCMP, but. I wonder if they can unredact something.
I don't think so.
Yeah. It's redactable?
Unredactable.
Unredactable.
Yeah.
That's redactable.
Legal blah, blah, blah.
Anyway.
Where am I here?
Mike Duffy.
Mike Duffy, yes, absolutely. Did you know, I knew there was kind of a bit of a thing going on with Halloween, but Halloween is starting to be called, like in schools and stuff, they're starting to call it Halloween Spirit Day or Orange and Black Festival.
Oh, because Hallows Eve is too satanic?
I guess so, but...
they're taking religions out of everything.
Changes are being made because people are ironically afraid of offending certain religions or forcing families to purchase costumes who can't afford them. Like, I can't afford costumes, but I'm still gonna buy costumes.
Whatever happened to being creative? I mean, when we were poor growing up, and my mom made the best costumes, like garbage bags. I was a ghost several years.
You could be a hobo.
That's just me every day. Brad, you can't wear your normal street clothes as your costume.
I remember my brother was a hobo 2 years in a row.
Be creative.
Yeah, it's they're basically just trying to not offend anybody. Like maybe this is a Canadian thing. I don't know, but there
must be.
I knew there was a lot of stuff going on with Christmas and everything, but even like Halloween, I looked up Halloween on Wikipedia to get the history of it and everything, and there's a lot of detail there, so I didn't copy and paste anything. But like it's got a lot of like religious background and stuff as well, dating back to like 1785 or something like that.
Well, All Hallows Eve.
Started in like Scotland and Ireland and stuff like that, and kind of spread from there. And it's first started in North America around like 1900s, 1911. I think it's the first time it was reported in the news that kids were going out on what was it called? Guising, because they were in costumes. They called it guising because they were putting on costumes. Yeah. And that's the first time it started in North America.
Is guising a derivative of disguising?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like in disguise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were
Originally to I think people think it's like to ward off spirits or something, but it was actually originally intended to make sure that the dead were at peace.
Oh.
And it just kind of, I don't know, it's all gotten twisted up and stuff, but it's either way, it's a fun time of year for everybody.
For kids. And they go out and get free candy.
And have you seen what girls wear on Halloween?
I know.
Come on.
That's what I thought your story was going to be, how they're calling it like Slutoween.
Yeah. Hallow sluts.
All Whores Eve or something.
Oh, that's a good one.
Anyway.
I'm looking forward to Halloween. Lighten up, people.
Yeah, good lord. Well, not on Halloween.
Yeah, goodness sakes.
Yeah.
Good pagan lord.
Ontario's police watchdog will not be charging a Peel Regional Police Supervisor who deployed a taser not once, Jeff, not twice, but twice to disarm a frail 80-year-old woman with dementia.
Yeah, she was going crazy like 3 a.m. or something, right?
Yeah, she had a knife. She did have a knife.
Yeah.
She did have a knife. But this is what I'm saying. If you're an 80-year-old woman with dementia,
with a butter knife,
it was an 8-inch bread knife. So it was a big knife.
It was a bread knife.
But it was a bread knife.
I was joking. Like a serrated bread knife.
Yeah, which are not the strongest of blades. No. Anyway.
And you got to really swing those to make, they've got this serration on them. You gotta, the point is to you have to be moving in a gesture.
Really, all you have to do is push an 80-year-old woman, and she's immobilized.
30, 40 years ago, I would say 10, whatever years ago, what? You wouldn't have shot her.
No, they just
thank God we have this taser. I would have shot her in the head.
They would have waited until she got tired.
Call for backup. I got an 8-year-old.
Yeah, let's have grab some coffees. We'll make a night of it. We'll watch her till she gets tired and forgets why she has a bread knife. Exactly. She's got dementia.
Let's see where she goes. Let's throw a loaf of bread over there.
See if she cuts it up.
See what she does.
I think this is what it is.
If she rapes it and tears it to shit, okay, taser her.
Okay, yeah. Clearly, she's
fucking crazy.
But I think we just need to give it a little more time.
A little bit.
More time.
I can't remember. Is she dead? No.
She's dead.
Oh, is she dead?
No, she's not dead. The inflection of my voice was misleading. I can understand that.
No, the facts in your sentence were misleading.
When I said she was dead, what I meant to say, Jeff, is no, she's very much alive.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Well, there was a picture of her alive on the website that I stole the story from. So.
Well, they're not going to put a picture of her dead. Oh, that picture. In that picture, she's alive. She must be. I'll just write down that she's alive.
Just prop her eyes open. She had dementia.
There was no X's over her eyes.
That's right. Yeah.
Clearly alive.
There's cartoon butterflies whizzing around her. Dear. Yeah. Anyway, so that's that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Science news.
Ooh.
A rare Egyptian gem worn by King Tut.
Ah.
Called the Hypatia. I looked it up now. I can't remember what the hell that was. Oh, it was a Greek philosopher or mathematician or something like that. But the gem has revealed evidence of a comet impact in our atmosphere 28 million years ago. This will be the first confirmed collision of a comet on Earth, not meteor.
Right.
Which sounds. I read a few stories on this of the same thing, and a lot of the headlines and first paragraphs and stuff implied that it was the first confirmed crashing of like anything from space on it.
Yeah.
But this is the comet is the one that is something that goes around, is a ball of ice that goes around our solar system on a cycle.
Okay.
But this will be the first confirmed collision of an actual one of those comets with the Earth.
Does it become an asteroid once it?
No.
Okay.
A comet like circles the sun like much like a planet does.
Okay.
Like Halley's Comet, for example.
Right.
It's going to go way out towards Pluto and the Oort cloud.
Yeah.
And then it's going to come back around the sun and go back around.
Are we worried? Should we be worried?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's never going to hit us.
What about the helium, Jeff?
We're going to run out of helium and gingers. Remember?
Right.
So the gem was dug up on the silica glass field, which is a well-known field in the Sahara Desert. It was always suspected that a big event like this caused this, but there's no crater, so it was just kind of like, well, we have no crater. Like, where would it have landed? We don't know about this. So the gem is now shown to hold microscopic diamonds, which could only have been created under, in the earth and under pressure and over millions of years, or in an event like this. But these are microscopic diamonds, sized diamonds. Now, difference have been very hard of a source increasing comment. Yeah, that's all.
Wow.
But yeah, so
I like that
that's
last
pretty
part.
neat. It's very informative.
Did King Tut
Yeah,
know?
she's dead.
Yeah. Tased several times. Did King Tut know? Do you think
Oh,
they...
no, absolutely not. No, it happened to be, the area was because, the whole, like heat turns sand into glass, right? High heat.
Yeah.
So this area was obviously well known. This was all this shards of glass that the desert has become.
Yes.
And the gem was dug up there. It was a special area. It was a special stone, just put on like any other stone. They had no idea of its actual meteorological significance, but yeah.
Or did they?
Oh! Have you seen the pyramids?
I have.
The pyramids are pretty messed up with their alignment and everything.
Yeah. You should ask Mike about that. Mike, our producer. Not now, because
we don't have time.
Podcast.
We don't have time for that.
But later. Jeff, I got one story left.
And did you know slaves didn't build the pyramids? It was a job?
An outside job.
Oh,
yeah, an
like
alien
9/11.
job. Yeah. A shirt depicting a bleeding vagina is causing...
Go on.
Yes. It's causing a bit of an uproar.
Pay attention.
Apparently, American Apparel is selling an online graphic tee, literally a graphic tee, they're calling Period Power.
Oh my God.
Designed by a local Toronto artist, Petra Collins, who creates portraits exploring female sexuality and teen girl culture. So on a white cotton tee,
teen girls, they're always talking about their bleeding vaginas.
it gets better. On a white cotton tee is a picture of a woman masturbating while menstruating.
Oh,
It was a play on souvenir tears. Sorry, I gotta read that again.
No, I think you're on the right track.
It was a play on souvenir tees that are derogatory to the female body. I don't understand.
That was the intention?
That's what she's commenting on with the picture of a woman masturbating.
What's the exact?
What's
the message she's trying to convey?
Because of all the souvenir tiers. When you go to when you go to Canada, you get those big maple leaf. Canada.
Moose.
I am Canadian.
Yeah.
That very much is derogatory to women.
How?
Oh, well, I don't know how you don't see this obvious,
I see.
right,
So
Jeff?
a bleeding vagina from a masturbating woman.
Exactly,
Yeah, okay,
right? Anyway, so she says,
sorry, you said a white tee with the blood is red, right?
I'm guessing so.
That makes sense.
I put these very taboo.
Canadian?
That's right. Oh, there you go. Yeah, nice. I put these very taboo pics of female sexuality on this pubic hair, female masturbation, and menstruation, and I put them on display for the public. But the good news, Jeff, is once the shirts wear out, they're going to make some great rags. Boom!
I'll get some emails. Speaking of emails, you can email us at canewspodcast@gmail.com. I look forward to it.
That's right. Jeff looks forward to reading your emails, complaining about the stuff I say. And make sure you follow us on Twitter at Canews
Podcast.
Canews Podcast. It's been 2 weeks since we've done
check the website, Canews Podcast. Oh God, .com.
.com.
Sorry, I almost had Gmail again.
That's all right.
I posted a couple of stories while I was in Mexico as well.
Mexico.
Despite having very shoddy internet.
So in that hour and a half session of the sit down and how great that their timeshare was, they did talk about the Wi-Fi.
I just did a lot of and tappy.
Your Wi-Fi doesn't work.
I probably bought something. I don't know. For all I know.
It's an extra 300 points to get good Wi-Fi down there.
What's the password? Sign here. I'll give you the password.
That's right.
Just sign this check. Okay.
Good Wi-Fi in the villa. So we're back to a regular schedule. See us next week, next Wednesday. And look forward to our live Canews podcast, which is coming up to be announced.
TBA. Yeehaw.
Yeah, if you want to see it, let us know.
It's going to be on a Wednesday.
It definitely will.
It's the
only day we have free.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're in the Vancouver area, email us and let us know if you'd be interested in making a live show, because we are planning on filling it with people we know so far. Let us know if you want tickets. Canewspodcast@gmail.com.
Hey, Jeff, why did the chicken lay an egg right in the middle of the road?
Masturbating teen girl with their period.
Yes! Nailed it. See ya.
Okay, now we need to know.
Because I wanted to lay it on the line.
Oh. Okay, mine was better.
Yes, it was.
Sadly.
Yes.